holding it in Poland is almost ironic. Why? Well, because the conference is aimed at getting countries to commit to cutting CO2 emissions. But Poland itself generates 95% of its electricity from coal, one of the biggest polluters. In fact, the country's Prime Minister, Donald Tusk, has just restated his government's commitment to mining and said renewable energy will play a supporting role at best. Frans van Kat's Gulliver Cragg reports from Poland.
This is Elektrownia Bełchatów, Europe's largest coal-fired power station and single largest polluter. Its chimneys, as tall as the Eiffel Tower, spout more than 30 million tons of CO2 into the air each year. It generates more than 5,000 megawatts of electricity, or 20% of Poland's needs. Its fuel is lignite, or brown coal, mined in this adjacent pit, which is as deep as the Eiffel Tower is tall. Poland is committed to digging more pits like these and expanding its coal power capacity.
This is the question of energy independence. Coal is something that we have in our domestic area, and we can use it without referring to increasing the import of fossil fuels.
Greenpeace questions this argument. Its latest report notes that Poland is already a net importer of coal and argues that even from a purely economic perspective, the country should be diversifying.
If the new hard coal and lignite-based power plants are built now, then for the next decades, we'll be more and more dependent on other states. And this is not the energy security. Energy security is, for example, in the renewables.
Poland's hard coal industry is struggling. For the indebted Kompania Węglowa, Europe's largest mining firm, stricter emissions targets could be fatal, especially if they apply only in Europe.
If you consider all the families whose incomes are based on this industry, in Silesia and across the country, this is a very serious problem and should be a top priority for Poland. Today we have to defend not only Poland's, but Europe's economic competitiveness. The logic of fighting against climate change just in this one part of the globe seems to me, well, dubious.
Coal is the lifeblood of a whole region in Poland, Upper Silesia. Miners here are threatening to strike over Kompania Węglowa's cost-cutting plans. For politicians, promising to save mining jobs tends to win more votes than promising to save the planet.
I trust they will save our jobs. It's one of the country's main resources, after all.
The EU just blames coal for everything. The way things are looking, it's going to be tough for miners here. But we have to live and support our families, you know. What are we going to do? Build wind farms? Then what?
Especially in mining towns, public opinion in Poland is often skeptical about global warming.
You hear a lot about global warming, but the reality is not quite like what they say on TV.
It's all a big lie. There's no global warming. It was warm once, then colder. Now it's getting warmer again. It's just nature.
We do need to do something to reduce the effects of the things we do that damage the climate. But on the other hand, people also need to have jobs.
The Polish government insists it can square that circle by upgrading its coal-fired plants and building new, more efficient blocks. Environmentalists say that won't be enough.
Frans van Kat's Gulliver Cragg reporting there from Poland. Now, golf and football coming up in the sport. It starts, though, with Rafa Nadal's growing domination of Roger Federer in the tennis.
Rafael Nadal's into the final of the World Tour Finals in London after outmuscling Roger Federer in straight sets. Federer was serving well, but the Spaniard began to make inroads into his serve, and in Game 9, he finally broke the world number 7. But Federer wasn't one to give in and won an exhausting 30-shot rally in Game 10 at 15:30. The 17-time Grand Slam champion got an obvious boost as he broke back that very game. The 1-1, though, doesn't let what's gone before affect him, and he regrouped to break back immediately and then serve it out, taking it 7-5. Federer's chance of gunning for a 7th title appeared to have vanished with the first set, And in game 5 of the second set, the cracks began to appear. Too many errors gifting Nadal the break. And Nadal broke again, this time in match point to wrap up a 7-5, 6-3 victory to advance to the final on Monday, and he'll seek to add the one title still missing from his resume. Defending champion Novak Djokovic proved too strong for Stanislas Wawrinka in their semi-final at the World Tour Finals in London. Wawrinka was the first player on his debut to reach the last 4 since Robin Sudling in 2009, and he broke Djokovic in game 3. But he couldn't consolidate it as Djokovic raised his game, and the pressure told in the world number 8 when he found the net. The Serb produced a second break before a crushing forehand gave him the first set 6-3. And Djokovic broke in the opening game of the second set. This point was evidence of the world number 2's dominance over proceedings. Wawrinka even applauding the outrageous passing shot. And when Wawrinka went long on match point, it sealed a 6-3 victory for Djokovic. The 26-year-old has now won 21 matches in a row, and having won his previous 2 end-of-season finals, he'll want to continue his 100% record. The 23-year-old Frenchman Victor Dubuisson showed that he has nerves of steel as well as a game to match as he saw off some of golf's biggest names to claim his maiden European Tour win at the inaugural $7 million Turkish Open in Antalya. Dubuisson started the final round with a 5-shot lead. He finished with a 3-under par 69 and a 24-under aggregate of 264.
I don't know how to describe it. Now I don't realize what's happening. I felt so much pressure on the last hole. Holding this putt on 17 was like, it was incredible. It was incredible, and the birdie on 18, it's a bonus. But even on the last putt, I was feeling so much stress, you know.
Dubuisson struggled in the opening 9 at the Montgomery Max Royal Course and was caught in the 14th as Jamie Donaldson aced the 180-yard 16th with a 7-iron. However, the Welshman missed a 6-foot eagle putt at the last to finish 2 shots back. Dubuisson ultimately holding off the challenge of some other big names, including Justin Rose, Ian Poulter, Henrik Stenson, as well as world number 1 Tiger Woods, who had to settle for a share of third with Rose. In France, Nantes' good run of form continued with a 3-0 win at Bordeaux. They held on to 4th, while Marseille stayed 5th after their win at home to bottom club Sochaux. Jimmy Briand scored a last-minute winner for Lyon as they beat Saint-Etienne 2-1. Paris Saint-Germain now 4 points clear of Lille at the top, with Monaco a point further back. In England, Robin van Persie did the damage against his former club. The Dutchman scoring the only goals. Manchester United beat Premier League leaders Arsenal 1-0. Good day for the North East as Sunderland beat Manchester City and Newcastle squeezed past Spurs. Arsenal still top, 2 points ahead of Liverpool. Southampton, meanwhile, up to 3rd. Zenit St. Petersburg travelled to Spartak Moscow in the Russian Premier League with a chance to pull 6 points clear of second place Lokomotiv Moscow. The visitors got themselves in front after just 6 minutes. Alexander Kirtsikov scoring from Domenico Crescito's cross. Spartak can move into joint second with a win though, and got back on level terms after 33 minutes through Armenian international Yura Movsisyan. Denis Glishakov, the supplier for that one. 11 minutes later, the hosts were in front. Movsisyan again on the score sheet to send the Lokomotiv Stadium into raptures. 3 minutes into the second half, and Movsisyan completed his hat-trick. Tino Costa this time with the telling pass. Brazilian international Hulk got Zenit back into it with a free kick, making it 3-2 after 64 minutes. But 7 minutes from time, Glishakov put the result beyond Luciano Spalletti's men with a 4 for the hosts. 4-2, Spartak, the final score. In the round of 16 of the Women's Champions League, it was a good afternoon for Lyon as they picked up a valuable away win in their first leg tie in Potsdam. The 2-time champions and last year's beaten finalists were made to wait until 7 minutes from time, though, for their goal. The American international Megan Rapinoe with a cross, Louise Nessie with a brave finish. It finished 1-0 Lyon. The second leg takes place in France on Thursday.
That's all the sport here on France 24. Well, that's all from me for this hour of Live from Paris. I'll be back, of course, in an hour with another edition. Jay Barker is here next, though, after the break. She'll speak to someone from the World Food Programme shortly. Of course, the very latest on the Philippines, 10,000 people thought to have been killed in that terrible storm which has ravaged the Philippines. The latest after the break.